Why poetry? Its materials are so constant, simple, elusive, specific. It costs so much and so little. It preoccupies a life, yet one can only find it in the living. It is a music, a playful construct of feeling, a last word, and a communion. I love it with these words made solely of air, as William said, have no owner finally to determine them. The English teacher that a long time ago said, "You must learn to speak correctly," was only wrong in forgetting to say why. For these words, which depend upon us for their very existence, fail us as our usages deride or exclude them. They are no more right or wrong than we are, yet suffer our presumption forever. That was Robert Creeley. I'm Cole Mash. This is the Inspired Word Cafe. Welcome. Woo! Oh, yeah, no, you guys stop, please. All right, we have local poet Jen Brisseau and local musician Wayward Nick. So without further ado, let's bring up Jennifer Brisseau.
Thank you for such a lovely introduction, Cole. That was fantastic. Hello. Thank you, everybody, for coming. It feels really weird to be on this side. I'm usually on that side in the audience, watching everybody, terrified to read. Now it's my turn. So I have a number of poems that are from a series of poems that I'm working on right now, and then I also am going to read a couple of old ones that I wrote in my undergrad, like 10 years ago. So I'm going to start with a poem called Drunk on a Bike. I blow past you smoking a cigarette and I yell, "I'm filling my cup." Would you prefer me suicidal? Would you prefer to scrape me off the side of the highway? You give me your old bones and they don't fit. You throw handfuls of rocks in the air and I panic and run for cover. Morning glory wraps snug around my neck. The moth knows she has to leave everything behind in pursuit of moonlight. She knows she can only hold on to so much at once. Thank you. So I went through a separation recently, about a year ago. So most of these poems are kind of stemming from that world. So there's a lot of, feelings. The next one is called Where Do We Go Now But Nowhere? I lay naked in the morning. You graze the small of my back. Particles return to waveform, create bokeh and light over the bed. I'll never love again as long as I'm in love with you. The magpie's labradorite wings flash from blue to black, while the bones of our child crumble like chalk. And I am sadness and the improbability of off-gassing fissures of the heart, like the heart can be cauterized or reborn in call to prevent smoke dissipating into warm air. Thank you. This next one is called The Night We Called It a Day. The moth is chewy and not very good looking. You get turned on anyway. You launch rockets into the pineal glands of mountain lions. Your hand got lost on the last corner. You sleep through hail on a tin roof. And I don't know how to tell you this, but I already my sleeping bag. We find tide pools and jump on bull kelp to make their heads pop. We find amethyst points under the storm and turn off the thunder. We drive to a place no one believes exists anymore. Coltrane on the radio furnishes the road. You need the reassurance You're nervous, like a hard boy in a strip club for the first time. A golden framework for good light. Thank you. So this next one is one of my old ones, and it is a villanelle. And I decided to read it because I thought Aaron Hebert was going to be here tonight. Right? So, yeah. It is called La Danse des Feuilles. I watch the ballets of autumn's leaves, an adagio of gold and crimson, awaiting Mother Earth's white reprieve. The cold winds fouetter, bringing northern thieves who steal orange heat from the late afternoon. I watch the ballet of autumn's leaves. The sparrow shudders as it grieves. Its warm season long will pass, awaiting Mother Nature's white reprieve. A pair of blonde fronds entrechat slowly weaves through the troupe like Fontaine and Nureyev. I watch the ballet of autumn's leaves. Le danse des feuilles me rappelait Chousy sourcils et votre château à l'avenue de la guerre, awaiting Mother Nature's white reprieve. The sun will linger at the horizon, but not too long. Soon we'll reach the coda of that seasonal song. I watch the ballet of autumn's leaves, awaiting Mother Nature's white reprieve. Thank you. So this one is called I Shall Be Released. You finally show me strings of moonlight. You thought I'd soften, crochet baby blankets. You thought the pink moon would change the color of my eyes. You thought if you followed me through rosebriar, pounded copper sheet over your teeth, asked to see the moth between my palms, I'd stay. Instead, I feed the moth to the cat. Contemplate perpetual motion. Search for flaws in black holes. Write the poems I'll never come back from. Lichen grows on attachment. Remember that one spring we had an ant problem? I sprinkled cinnamon on windowsills. Still, they dropped from the ceiling, landed on our bodies, where we slept, where I momentarily found love again. It was right where my mother always told me to look for lost things. Right where I had left it. 2 inches below the left, right next to my guilt, right next to that mole I need to get removed. Thank you. This one is called Sinew, and it is another old one. All right. A long stretch of cosmic dust surrounding Pluto. A tendon behind the knee that hides behind thin skin when the leg is straight. A broken guitar string still hanging from its tuning key. A gnarled branch of a winter apple tree, green moss growing in its armpits. The back and forth motion of a gold watch dropped in a clear lake at midday when the sun is directly overhead. Thank you. So this last one is called Love Will Tear Us Apart. Turned away on your side, wedding band on the dresser. Only the bindweed between us now. I shower and put on a dress and red lipstick. Sit at my desk and try to write. And to not miss him so much. Our daughter's nose ringed with dry blood, and spots stain her shirt. Influenza has swept through the house. I boil water and turkey stock until condensation drips down all the windows, disorients like patterns on moth wings. Don't let me use the big scissors when I'm drunk on red wine. You unfold all the cranes I hung from the ceiling just to study lines on paper. Every crease made by the side of a thumbnail. You need to know the order of things. You need to know how things get all folded up in the first place. But it's no use. I am not origami. I am not morning glory. I could never hold on as tightly as you'd like, my love. Thank you.
All right, welcome back. We are back here with Jennifer Brisseau.
That's the one.
Brisseau.
Either way, whatever.
Either way. Jennifer Brisseau, either way. Okay, Jen, thank you. Thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for sharing those poems with us.
No problem.
Those poems about your separation just had everyone in stitches. You were hilarious.
I know they're hilarious,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
No,
is this on?
Yes, it's on. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a few more general sort of questions. Then we're gonna get into the hard-hitting stuff. Okay. So
right.
just prepare yourself. So Jen, how did you get started writing?
When I was about 11 years old, I woke up in the middle of the night from this dream with this like really intense image of a woman, just like entirely veiled, but had this like really intense light coming from behind her, and I still see it. And it was just like it was just so much that I had to I jumped out of bed and I didn't know what to do with it other than to just write it down. So I wrote it down and I just kept going, and that became my first poem. So yeah, awesome. And then I just kind of kept going from that.
So did you sort of know it was a poem then, do you think?
Eventually.
Yeah.
As I was writing it, I was like, what am I doing here, And then, I finally felt like, okay, I guess this is a poem. But I was 11, and I didn't really know what poems were. I hadn't really been exposed to poetry, so, yeah. Awesome. Other than, limericks and haikus. Yeah, that's probably about it.
So who are you reading right now?
I'm reading Patti Smith right now, actually.
Rad.
Yeah.
I only just found out recently that she wrote poetry.
Yes, I'm reading one of her memoir kind of style books at the moment.
How is that?
It's great. It's fantastic. I just love her. She's amazing.
Ghostwritten or anything?
No, it's definitely Patti.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That rules.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. You ready for?
Oh God. Here we go.
So I know, I occasionally pay attention to you when we hang out.
Occasionally. I mean. Yeah. I'm pretty meek.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot of Charlie Brown parents.
Right.
But this one time I heard a few, and sometimes you quote The Simpsons.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So I'm doing this little segment that I decided to sort of switch up a little bit. So we're going to do Simpsons trivia, but more specifically, we're going to do Simpsons Beatles episode trivia. Okay?
Oh my God, okay.
So you ready for this one?
Sure.
Okay. This first one's the easy one. I want to just ease you into it before I embarrass you with facts that I looked up on the internet.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so the first one is, which Beatle is in the episode where Lisa becomes vegetarian?
Ringo Starr?
It is not. That's the one where Marge, sent letters to Ringo Starr as a child. I totally forgot about that Beatles episode. Okay, it was Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney.
And he
Paul
only came
McCartney.
on the show if Lisa remained vegetarian for the rest of the show.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, 2, follow-up. Which Beatles song, I mean, the follow-up, you didn't know the episode.
No,
so you're probably not going to get this one now. Which Beatles song does he tell them can be played backwards for a great lentil soup recipe? I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
How's that?
That's supposed to be a hint.
That's a good hint. You didn't. I think. There's
yeah.
audience.
I think I need to hear it again. I need to hear the clue again.
No?
I'm not very good at like humdingers.
All right, we're gonna go. We're gonna
Humsingers.
take
Yeah,
this
what-
one to the
what-
audience for the steal.
Maybe I'm amazed.
Maybe I'm amazed.
Thank you. You're better than me.
Well, glad we got that cleared up. Okay, number 3. What is Homer most excited about when he meets George Harrison? This is multiple choice, so it should be more up your alley. A, he's a Beatle. B, the beer he's drinking. C, his solo stuff. Or D, his brownie.
Can I ask a question about that one?
I mean, pretty much just made this game up today, but yes.
Did this episode by chance happen on an airplane?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
It did. That's the next question.
I'm gonna say the beer that he was drinking then.
No, that's
Damn it.
it was the brownie. It was the brownie. Okay, so you're 0 for 3.
I was thinking the one where he sings, "Hey beer, hey me." What does he go? What is it? Beer you, beer me. That's the one. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I knew know
Yeah.
that one.
Hey you,
So,
beer me. That's the one.
Okay, so here's the final one.
Okay,
Chance
I'm
to
ready.
get some dignity back.
Never. I have no dignity. None.
What album cover of the Beatles does Homer's barbershop quartet, the B Sharps, reference and or mirror and or steal, parallel, whatever? Is it A, the Beatles, and the reference would be the B Sharps? B, the White Album, the reference being the Sharp Album. C, Meet the Beatles, the reference being Meet the Sharps. Or D, Sharpie Road, the reference being Abbey Road. There's a clock. You're on the clock here.
Yeah. I really want to say D, but I kind of have a feeling
You're always thinking with the D.
that it's
always going to the D.
about the D. I'm gonna say C.
It is C. Meet the Sharp.
I got one.
Oh, Jen.
Right? Aren't I the best?
Yeah, no, you did great. So that's all the questions that I wrote, I think. So
Okay.
we're just gonna So Jen, can you tell us where can we find more of your work? Do you have the Facebook?
I have the Facebook under Jen Brisseau. I don't put any work on it, but I'll post events and stuff that I'm doing or other people are doing. And I think I have a video on YouTube under Inspired Word Cafe.
Sweet.
And I also
InspiredWordCafe.com.
InspiredWordCafe.com. Let's get it straight.
Seriously, folks at home, thank you. I love you. Thank you for watching. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Jen, thanks so much. Up next,
for
we got a
having me.
musical guest. Stick around. People in line at Shaw. We got Wayward Nick coming up next. So, watch it. Find us
Watch
InspiredWordCafe.com.
Hi there. I'm Nick, Wayward Nick. I usually play in a band, Twin Towns, here in town, but I'm just by myself today. And the other guy is usually the banter guy, so my banter is not going to be so strong. But anyway, this first song is called Islands. Such scenery, imperfect, dark, the horizon line is falling apart, life in the sky, exploring the stars, stuck on the ground, fond of the And it's tempting to be this carefree, and all just don't get caught too deep in thoughts of you. Such a view of the holy shroud and the dark clouds, that mountain smile and the forest fires. Forest fires and the forest fires. 2, 3, 4. Such scenery where islands part the ocean tide, imperfect, dark, and in the sky a net of stars. But here on the ground I'm falling apart, and it's easy to see when things go wrong. I just don't get caught too deep in thoughts of you. Such a view of the holy shroud and the dark clouds, that mountain smile and the forest fires. Forest fires and them forest fires. 2, 3, 4. Thank you. Yeah, that one was Islands. This next song was my attempt at trying to make a heavy song on the ukulele. It still sounds cute and happy, but yeah, it's called Ukulele Out. Something's telling me to back down slowly. Gonna be let down. I can help it now with a love like that tempting me. I want it so bad. But I won't change you. Don't you go and alter me. Maybe we'd be best down our separate streams, 'cause I come too far apart. Had the strangest feeling right from the start. But you can't love whoever you want now, with the banjo sound drowning my ukulele out. With the banjo sound drowning my ukulele out. With that banjo sound drowning my ukulele out. With that banjo sound drowning my ukulele out. With that banjo sound drowning my ukulele out. Thank you. I got one more song for you guys, and 3 minutes. So that's perfect. I think this. No problem.
3 minutes?
All right, so this song is called Creepin' Hard. Did you succeed? Did you give 'em the creeps? Are you creeping still? Living in the trees? And did you bend all the rules? Did you make your truce? Has it come back around to you? Did you lose your cool too? And now there are no people that are cramping up your style, and you sing and sync with echoes, 'cause no one hears you crying. No one hears you crying. And in the corner of my eye, laying in a bed of leaves, half asleep, but still giving me the creeps. And now there are no people that are cramping up your style, and you sing and sync with echoes, because no one hears you crying. Yeah, no one hears you crying. All right, thank you guys. I've been Wayward Nick. It's been awesome. Thanks.